Welcome to Big Ten Men's Soccer in 10, where we visit with all 9 head coaches and a distinguished alumni from each of the programs. Today, it's the Maryland Terrapins. I'm Dean Linke, pleased to be joined by the man we call the professor, former goalkeeper at Indiana, Chris Munroe. Welcome, Professor.
Great to be here, Dean.
And with the Maryland Terrapins, Sasho Cirovski, one of the true legends of the game, 3-time national champion head coach, a true pioneer, and Maurice Edu, an Olympian, a World Cup, first pick in the MLS, Scotland, England, Turkey, you name it, he's done it. Now he dresses dapper every day on Fox Sports. Maurice and Sasho, great to be with you both.
Thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Dean, Chris, always great to be with you. And anytime I can be in the same room with Mo, I'm very happy. So this is a great day.
Well said, Sasho. Well, Maurice, I already rattled off all your great accomplishments. How did Sasho in Maryland help you prepare for all those great steps?
When you have a culture that's built around pursuing and trying to accomplish and achieve excellence, then it creates a professional environment. And for me, a kid from California, to convince me to go to leave my comforts of California and schools that were here, it took a lot. And I think Sasho knew from the get-go that I wanted to become a professional. And when I went there and talked to him and saw the campus, saw the team, I just got a sense for, one, he was straightforward. He was going to challenge me. He was going to push me. And all those things happened. I think I grew as a player. I grew as a person. And I think most importantly, I was in an environment that forced me to change my mindset about how professional I pursued the game. And I think that's what really helped me to have success throughout the course of my career.
Mo, speaking of relationships and how it's helped you evolve, looking back at your time with Rangers in Scotland, would you talk a little bit about how your friendship and relationship with fellow national teamer DAMARCUS BEASLEY helped you both on and off the field over there?
I mean, you just described it there perfectly. When I went to Rangers, again, it's getting out of your comfort zone, going to a new level, having to up your game. You're going from being one of the top players for me in Toronto, and now I'm starting again at the bottom of the totem pole, having to earn respect, earn my way there. And so for me, Bees provided that big brother role. He's smaller in stature, but he provided that big brother role. He accomplished most of the things that I was striving to accomplish, having success internationally with the national team as well as in Europe. And so just giving me guidance, giving me confidence to go out there and just play my game, keeping me focused and making sure I was staying out of trouble away from the pitch so that I could do and accomplish all the things that I was striving to do on the pitch.
Hey, let me add to that there, Chris. When I recruited Mo, and I met with his family in his home, and I said, Mo, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And he said, I want to play in Europe. And you could see in that eyes, and I immediately said, I got to get this kid. So I simply said, Mo, University of Maryland, College Park from California, we're halfway to Europe. So if you want to go to Europe, this is the stop. This is the pathway. So rhetorically, I said, we're the best step. So he came, and true to his goals, within a year after he left Maryland, when he was Rookie of the Year with Toronto, he's playing for Glasgow Rangers. And it was an incredible story. But the other part is Mo wanted to win a national championship. And he was a key figure. He knew we had a good group there, and he came there, and he was a key figure to help us win a national championship. And everywhere Mo's been, Mo wins. So it was great to I just love him.
And then speaking to that '05 national championship team, obviously guys like Gary and Rogers and King and Birch, yourself, Zuzi, etc. So much talent, so many stars. Would you talk about how Coach Cirovski and the coaching staff brought that group together and helped you achieve that excellence? And then if you had to pick maybe one or two of those guys that really stood out in your 3 years at College Park, who would those guys be?
Oof. Picking one is going to be a difficult task, but now in hindsight, we look back at that team, and I think in the moment we all recognize that we had a good team, but to see the careers and how everyone's careers progressed and everyone attained a certain level of success, I give Sash a lot more credit maybe now than I even did back then, because to balance and to keep that many personalities, that many with talent comes egos, right? So to keep everyone in check and everyone to be bought into a single goal and a single focus, I think a lot of credit has to be given to him, because that can't be an easy task. And at times we have to make tough and difficult decisions about, one player playing over another player. And like I said, as you get to a higher level, every player believes they should be playing. So I think Sasha did a really good job of creating an environment where everyone was bought in. Everyone understood what the goal and what the focus was. The group was more important than the individuals. And we were brothers. You know, that group of players, if you talk to any of them, we still have bonds, we still communicate, we still cheer each other on from afar at times. And that's just something that's going to last with us for the rest of our lives. And it all started at College Park. And so to have gone through that journey throughout the course of that season, my 2.5, 3 years there, I loved every moment of it. And it's one of the moments that really highlight the course of my soccer career and my playing career. And to pick a player, though, it's a tough one, because there were guys who came in maybe with smaller resumes, but rose to be the cream of the crop. A guy like AJ De La Garza. I think he's probably the one that I would pick up during that season. AJ wasn't pinned or picked to be playing significant minutes, but because of circumstances, when his name was called upon, he rose to the occasion and never looked back from there. And you see how his career has taken off. He's one of the ones that's still playing at MLS, and I give a guy like that a tremendous amount of credit. And I give Sasho credit for being able to identify a player like AJ, give him the opportunity, trust in him, and then AJ just take it from there.
Maurice and Sasho, I want you both to touch on this. I know, Maurice, you played in the ACC, but you've watched the transition to the Big Ten. The Big Ten is so proud to now have an African-American as its commissioner, and Maryland has an African-American football coach. The Big Ten, even the Big Ten Network, stepping forward on Black Lives Matter. How do you feel about the role the Big Ten can play in this all-important issue, Maurice?
I think it's hugely important, and it's significant that they have been vocal and the efforts that they put forward, because I think the players have a responsibility, the fans have a responsibility, we all have a responsibility. And I think recognizing that responsibility and acting on it is highly important. The players obviously have huge platforms, and many have been outspoken and vocal and done different things, have been doing different things in their communities for time, but now are being recognized a little bit more for it. So I think those who also are in position of power, it's highly important that they take the initiative and take some of that pressure off of the players to go out there and keep fighting this fight, pushing things forward, having these conversations. But on top of those conversations and the education that comes along with those conversations, action has to happen, and it has to be a strong follow-up to support those words that are being ushered.
Yeah, Dean, and to add to that, I'm so proud to work at the University of Maryland. This is a great place. It's a very diverse place. We've always had great diversity in our teams, but right now in particular, we have an African-American football coach, an African-American athletic director, and an African-American president. And that president has a son, Donovan Pines, that played at the University of Maryland. And I know that our team is committed to be agents of change. We've had a number of talks about what we can do. And as soon as we start, we're going to be putting together a plan and a platform to make sure that we are agents of change, to try to eliminate some of the systemic racism and some of the craziness that our world has gone through. This is 2020. It should not be this way. And I think that we've all had a massive wake-up call. And trust me, we will be agents of change.
So well said from both of you. As we close it out, Maurice, I do got to tell you that I touched base with your former roommate, Jason Gary, who also works for the Big Ten Network. And I did ask him about if there was ever any confusion about Freddie Edu. He said, well, hang on, I got a better story than that. In Charles Hall, Freddie Edu and Maurice Edu were rapping. Tell us about that. And I got to know if you can spit anything out real quick.
Well, that came about because Kwame Dark was a very close friend of Freddie. I knew Freddie from playing days when we were younger as well. And, Freddie, Maryland boy, ended up being there. But no, there's a lot of, I'm glad that's the story that he told you about Charles Hall.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
What's that?
I think there's a lot of other things to talk about, but yeah, that's good that we're talking about that one.
Yeah, there was some good time. Jason's a good guy. But yeah, no, we made the most of our downtime. We enjoyed being around each other, that camaraderie that started in moments like that, where we're sitting there rapping, myself, Kwame Darko, AJ Gapo, doing things like that, built up that brotherhood that I think we all hoped would happen, and it did go on to extend onto the pitch, and that's why we were successful there.
All right, it's Big 10 and 10, so we got to wrap it up. But Sasho, quick soundbite. What is it about Maryland? I know you pushed for Friday Night Lights, but you got Taylor Twellman, Maurice Edu, two of the media stars now that came out of your program.
Well, we're really proud of Maryland. We also have Scott Van Pelt. He's not a soccer alum, but Maryland's all over TV. We're very proud of it. Look, this is a great place. I've been here 27 years because I love it. There's great things happening on this campus. There's wonderful people coming through. We've got young commentators right now working with us. They're going to be taking over, play-by-play stuff. Dean, they're not going after your job. Don't worry. But look, you know how I feel about Maryland. I bleed, red and white, black and gold. We have some goals to accomplish. We got the approval for a new stadium. We're going to remove the track. We're going to build a soccer-only stadium here. I'm still trying to get a 2-semester model that was started here, in this office, and that we hope to do that for the good of the game at the right time. So we hope that the University of Maryland will, remember as a school that cares about soccer and to help make the game better for all the players and coaches and fans.
Well said. Maurice Edu, honored to be with you. Thanks so much for being a part of Big 10 and 10.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Sasho, thank you so much, sir.
Great to be with you guys. Thank you.
And Professor, always a pleasure. This is Big 10 and 10, Maryland Men's Soccer.